fairness. Okay, I will call the meeting to order, and we've had a chance to review the agenda, and there's no addendums to the agenda. So Jim, would you like to make a motion to approve? And I will.
I so moved.
All right, and I will second. Thank you. And are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Councillor Dunbar? None for me either. So we have a motion to be it resolved that Infrastructure Services Committee adopt the minutes of January 12th, 2022 as presented. Moved by me, seconded by Jim. All in favor? Carried. And the business rising from the minutes are in the administrative report. So I'll turn 7 over to you, Katie, and you've given us a nice highlight of the month that was. Another very busy month for Public Works.
Yes, Public Works has been busy with snow removal. We've had a lot of snow occurrences after hours and on weekends. So far, we have not had a lot of issues with the water, but we're monitoring the weather and looking at as the weather dips down on numerous occasions. We are fearful for the water breaks that may be occurring, but we are keeping a close eye on that through our roads maintenance when we're doing our patrols. We are making sure we're watching that, as well as staying in correspondence with the PUC to ensure that they're watching the levels at the plant to identify any large water drops, so then we know that we do have a break somewhere. Something that's not on here is PUC was in a strike position, and we were taking some precautionary and additional training to assist should the need arise, but they did settle and the contract has been signed and that pressure is off. Yeah. So that's a good thing. Further, our water license permit to take water is almost approved. They're outstanding 3 items that they're waiting on Carla from PUC, but this morning at 7, Carla and I did tie up those 2 loose ends and they're done. So we should see that by the end of today, our water license. That's another thing that's complete. With regard to complaints, there haven't been a large number of complaints related to the Public Works Department. There's been some where we're getting calls that they feel that sidewalks should be all done by 8 o'clock in the morning. It's unrealistic at this time with the staffing complement and the equipment that we have, but we are doing our best to ensure that they are cleaned. And we have been receiving a lot of calls and a lot of people just on the street commenting on how well of a job the sidewalks and roads are. So they're not listed in here. A lot of times we only hear from the negative rather than the positive, but we are hearing positive as well. And also some of the issues that have been brought up, we've had the discussion with the operators and just suggested some slight changes to the way they're conducting the operation to rectify these issues. So they're not all complaints that are bad, they are positive and they're a way to improve on the service that we are delivering. So those are taking place as we receive them. We do discuss them and then they are discussed with the operators and those changes are being implemented. So hopefully we won't receive them again. I don't know if there's any questions from what I've listed here that you'd like some more details on. I can certainly elaborate.
Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of, I'll touch on the HVAC that was never connected. Can you shed a little light on that for me, Katie, please?
I can. So there's been a few issues that have been rectified over the years with the Public Works Department. When this building was certified, there was some deficiencies that were not followed up on at the time. So we are and have been working on following up on those issues. There was some connections that were not done properly with the HVAC, and therefore it was never connected, but it was signed off by the engineer at the time that was part of the project. So we did have someone in on Friday and reviewed with Bernie. He's the most familiar with the unit, and he feels that he does have some small tweaks that can be done that can still utilize the equipment that we have. So it wouldn't be purchasing new equipment, but it would be a new connection to the system. As well, one of the items that Bernie has brought up on numerous occasions is this office that I'm in, as well as the public foreman's office, public works foreman's office, and the lunchroom are all on one monitor. So it's heating where it may not need to. So I may be colder in this office, or they may be colder in their office. So looking at putting in regulators for each office, which would create some efficiencies. The engineer was in full agreement with Bernie on that one. So they will be looking at that and costing them out. We may not be able to get them all done this year, but if we have it on the plan and on the radar, then we can attempt to do a few repairs ongoing. Definitely want to get the roof fixed this year. And if we can, the HVAC, but that'll depend on the pricing that comes in.
Okay, and the two main breaks that we've had so far, just a thought on whether or not they were frost related, and how were they brought to our attention? Did PUC catch these, or were they messaged in from citizens?
I believe both of
breaks.
Yeah, both of the main breaks were called in by residents who noticed the water pooling on the road. So our residents are really good at letting us know that those are occurring. And we believe that it's a combination of the frost as well as the old infrastructure that is under the ground.
Okay.
Any other questions on this report, Jim?
No, I'm good there. Thank you.
And I hope that Public Works realizes that, as I keep referring to, the silent majority are very happy with the performance of Public Works as it relates to snow removal. We are very fortunate, and I keep saying, compare yourself to other communities, and you wouldn't see the level of snow that is being moved or removed, and they're doing a stellar job. Yeah.
I did yesterday morning come in and go over the council meeting highlights for them, as well as the budget, and updated them on the positive comments that council has commented on at the meetings, to let them know that there are those people out there that are happy with the operations. I did just want to touch quickly on the hydro at the old courthouse. So hydro will be there tomorrow to disconnect, and then we can start lining up to get that portion of the building removed, and then move forward with the tender for the other portion.
And will there be a notice to the public that that will be happening when it's happening?
Yes, as soon as I have my dates on the equipment rental, we will do a big blitz with getting it out there so the residents are aware.
And the weekly newsletter distribution list would be an excellent place to be doing that, because it's amazing. We have this fabulous website, and I'm as guilty as the next person as not to go to it to find the information. And it's almost meant like a matter of training the mind to say, oh yeah, I know where that is. You know, so when people are asking me for the information, and I'll use that example of the bylaw on animals, you know, I was able to find it myself, and then was able to go back to them and say, you know, here's what you're looking for, and it answers all the questions. And then at the Protective Services meeting, when we had the statistics, it just backs it up again, which is also on the website. So it's definitely a matter of training people that this is a really good tool, and that we should all become more comfortable in using it. But then again, we have to work with our demographics.
Yes, and we are doing more pushes now that we've taken over our Instagram account internally. So we're doing more pushes there. We're finding that we have more followers now. Each day we're picking up more and more followers, which is a good thing. And the Facebook is pretty much ready to go. The management team just has to do our training with it, because again, it'll be something that we'll have to trade off on. Every other weekend will be somebody else in charge of it, because you have to be on top of it. You can't just leave it. So that'll be another platform that we can certainly get these postings out on. So if we have water breaks, construction jobs, all of those things can be hit all of the platforms, and get as many people as we can.
Yeah, sounds great. Okay, moving on to correspondence, the Ministry of Northern Development, Mine, Natural Resources, information on the aggregates Is there anything that you wanted to question on that, Jim?
No, I have none at this moment. No.
I have none at this moment either, and rumor has it that there is going to be, my new neighbor will be an MNRF person, so I can always tie into them to say what's happening. So we'll see how that pans out for 1 year anyway. It's because they're for yeah. There's nothing under the addendum. Jim, did you have anything else you wanted to know about?
No, not at the moment.
You're good. All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And I'll second that. And thanks everyone for everything that you do, and enjoy your Wednesday. It's warm today. Have a good
Yeah,
one.
it's gonna melt.
Yes. Take care. Bye-bye.